Alright, I'm going to blow through this assembly kind of fast because I'm mainly just looking for damage. As we can see here, there are multiple footprints on this box where it looks like somebody has knocked it over and stepped on it to get where they're going. And right there, the box has been busted open. So I'm not too worried about it. I think it's been packaged well enough inside that it will have held up to any of the damage, but I am just going to kind of run through and just check for damage as I assemble it. Most folding e-bikes all assemble the same way. If I run into any weird issues with assembly, you'll see them in this video. But other than that, I'm going to assume that this is going to be pretty straightforward and standard. So far, so good. I'm going to get this packing off and inspect the bike. Alright, our hardware box here includes user manual, paperwork, and a couple of zip strips. This is going to be our charging cable right here. And it appears to be a 2-amp charger. We got an El Cheapo tire pump, folding pedals, quick release axle, and our tools to put everything together. I'm going to put the wheel on while the bike is still laying down. That way, after I get it on, I can stand it up, make use of the kickstand, and the rest of the bike assembly should go pretty quick. Yeah, I've found that that's the best way to do it. If you can get away with it, put the wheel on while the bike is still laying down. That way you can stand it up, put the kickstand on it, and it makes the rest of the assembly go together so much easier because the bike is standing up and you don't have to fight against its weight. You don't have to flip it over. You don't have to do any of that stuff. Now you can work on it. And now I can inspect the rest of the bike to see if there's any damage. Okay, overall I like this bike, but I gotta point out my one big criticism of the bike before we get rolling, and it uses one of these really cheap seat post clamps here. And as you can see, I've used a pair of pliers to crank that down a little bit tighter. I have encountered these in the past, and I knew that if I didn't crank this down, I would be running into a spot down the road where this seat post would be sinking. But other than that, this bike's been pretty good so far. Let's go for a ride and check it out. One of the things that I really do like about it is when these 20-inch bikes use 3-inch tires, it just makes them really zippy, and this is a lot of fun to ride. It is really, really windy out today, so I don't know how that's going to affect the ride, but let's go down the road and find out. I'm starting off here in assist level 1, and again, like I said, it's got a really zippy takeoff because of these smaller, thinner tires. There's like no rolling resistance, and it just rides pretty nice. We'll go through the grass here for a second. This is definitely not an off-road bike, but if you're keeping it light, it's okay for a little while. We'll go down this hill. This is a really, really steep hill. I imagine when I come back up here, it's going to give me some problems climbing this hill. I'll probably have to go down a few gears and help pedal on my own. The brakes are mechanically line-driven brakes, but they seem to be doing a pretty good job. All right, it's time to go back up this hill now, and I imagine this is going to be a heck of a steep climb. So I'm going to get a run at it, and we're going to go up this hill in like 4th gear with me pedaling. This is not the strongest bike in the world, but with my assistance, it does make it up a pretty steep hill. I wouldn't trust it to do it on its own, though. All right, but back on the pavement, back in pedal assist level 1, that takes us up to about 10 miles per hour. As soon as I get back on the pavement here, we will go up to level 2. Here we go, level 2. Level 2 takes us up to about 14-15 miles per hour. Level 3 seems to be capping us out at about 22. Level 4 is taking us up to 24. And level 5, I saw 27 there. I weigh 187. So with this bike's motor, that's probably about right. If you're a bit lighter than I am, it'll probably peak out at about 28 miles per hour. For this bike, really, level 2 is the casual sweet spot, and I just noticed something. I'm going to take off and hold speed for a few seconds. My theory is correct. This bike has cruise control, so we're holding 15 miles per hour right now. I'm not pedaling and I'm not using the throttle, and it's staying right at 15. If I go up a level, cruise control stays engaged, and it takes us up to the next highest speed level. This is really kind of a basic plain Jane bike, but I like that. It's not pretending to be something that it's not. Where it does excel is in its zippiness. I'm going to take off in level 3 from a stop here, and yeah, it feels really nice riding this bike. It's a fun little, like, quick turning, zippy. I keep saying zippy, but that's the best way to describe it. It's really a lot of fun to ride. It's got a 13.5 amp hour battery, so if you get in it and stay in it, it's going to drain that battery pretty fast. But for casual little quick rides or short rides, this is going to be just fine. And if you want to go far, ride it at a lower speed for sure. We'll go through this little off-road section here, just because I always have fun riding through here. The bike doesn't have the best suspension. It's not terrible. We've got the front shock that can absorb some of the impact that we're dealing with on this ride, but I wouldn't want to ride off-road on a bike like this all day. To me, this bike is a perfect campground or neighborhood hopper. It's not a big heavy-duty bike, but for something that you want to take on vacation and have like a folding bike for, what this bike does really well is that it is lightweight. It doesn't have a big footprint. Even when it's unfolded, it really doesn't take up much space. I personally would probably never fold this bike. The only time a folding bike is really useful folded is when you absolutely can't get it in a smaller vehicle and you have to fold it. Other than that, I would just leave this bike as it sits, never fold it, but I have the luxury of a van too, so I can see where if you need to get this in the back of your car trunk or something like that, the folding aspect is absolutely necessary. But what I like about this bike is that it is small, it doesn't take up a lot of room, and when you want to take something on a camping trip or a vacation, this is going to be a perfect bike for that. This one is a cheap bike with cheap components, but I do think you get your money's worth. I mean, if you keep your expectations in check and use it as the right tool for the job that it's designed for, I think you're going to be pretty happy with this bike. If you are into a lot of like crazy off-roading and hell raising, this might not be the bike for you. I am pedaling it out of habit, but you can't really get a good pedal stroke on this. I'm 5'10", and these bikes are really not so much made for pedaling. If you do pedal, it's just kind of going to be in assistance to the motor. But there's not a whole lot else to really say about the bike. It's simple, and what you see is what you get. I'm going to go up here and do some minor hill climb tests and see how it operates, but other than that, really, we've kind of covered just about everything the bike has to offer. Minor hill climb and pedal assist level 5, throttle only. I'm not pedaling. I weigh 187. I don't remember what the bike weighs, but I'll put that on the screen right here. It's pretty lightweight. And it climbed up that hill, and it's sitting in cruise control on its own, no problem. That's something you need to be like cautious of with this bike, is its cruise control. If it locks you into a speed and you're not ready for it, you know, it might cause some problems. I'm not going to do a full range test today. I'm just going to go for a little ways and kind of get an idea of how we can judge the battery. Again, it's a 13.5 amp hour battery, so I wouldn't expect any super long range runs on this bike. especially if you get up into the higher speed levels, but it should be good for, I mean, at least 20 miles if you're riding conservatively. And that's 20 real-world miles, not e-bike manufacturer claims. We'll do a little bit of gravel off-roading here. This bike is not really built for this, but something simple like this, it should be all right. It's doing just fine. I mean, without a rear suspension on this bike, it's a little bit of a rough ride on this kind of packed dirt, gravel. And these thinner 3-inch tires are not the best for gravel riding, especially when you go through the mud. But it's not doing too bad. Final conclusion on this bike, it's not a bad little bike. Like I said, if you know what to expect and keep your expectations in check, you're going to be pretty happy with this little thing. It's not a long distance running bike, but the comfort level is another thing that adds to that. The seat is not terrible, but it's not something that I would want to ride on for hours and hours on end. That's something that could use an upgrade. Overall, it's a fun little bike in small doses. But that's going to wrap this video up. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time, but stick around until the end of the video if you want to see the results of the final range test. Alright, so I've been riding around and I'm almost back to the beginning of the ride here. The battery is sitting at 100% on its gauge. I would guess that it's probably closer to like 80 or 75%. You really can't trust the battery meters on these screens. Generally, when you're up over halfway, it's going to hang at 100% for a really long time and then start dropping a little bit. And then when you get under half, it's going to drop really fast. So that's just something to keep in mind. And I have been riding this bike pretty casually today, but that is how I would ride this bike. I think it's what it's designed for. Alright, I wanted to get this to drop at least one battery bar off the battery meter before I wrap this up. So I went 13 miles. We're down to 4 bars out of 5. I am going to look at the battery meter on the actual battery itself here and see what it says. So this one's giving us 3 bars out of full. So I was probably pretty close in my estimation that this is actually closer to like 75%. Anyway, that's it for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. And this time, I really mean it.